This tutorial is about using files and folders more efficiently. Ideally, it's best to have all of your files within folders so that you can tell kind of where things go. On this particular example with my desktop, you can see that I have some folders, but I have a lot of files that just kind of live outside of that. They're just hanging out on the desktop. So one thing we want to do is figure out an efficient way to get these files into folders. The easiest way to do this is under the File menu in the Finder is to click New Folder. That'll create a new folder wherever I am, which right now happens to be the desktop. And as soon as you create that folder, it asks you to give it a name. I'm going to call this one PDF Files because I have a lot of PDFs on my desktop. Once I've created the folder, I now need to figure out which files I want to go into that folder. If you're in icon view like I am now, you can use your mouse to grab all of the documents you want as long as they're in a list or closely grouped together. So I can draw a square around all of these documents, and then dragging one of them will drag all of them into the folder. Now, if I've got some that are scattered or not in a row and they're a little harder to grab, you can use the Command or Apple key and single click with your mouse to grab the files that you want. And again, as soon as you drag in one, you drag them all in. Now let's say somebody requested an email of a bunch of different files. The best way to do an email transfer if you have multiple items is to put them into a folder and then compress that into a single file that you can then send a recipient. It will, in the end, kind of look like this with the .zip at the end. So how do you get a zip file out of a folder? The best thing to do is to select the folder by clicking on it once. Under the File menu, you'll choose Create Archive. And what will happen is it creates a zip file for you that you can then send to somebody else or put onto something like a jump drive or upload onto another location or server. If you send this to somebody, when they receive it, they'll need a special program to kind of open that particular file. But all computers come with that sort of natively, so they shouldn't have an issue. They just double click on it and then it will expand the contents of the folder. If you need help with files and folders or organization, please ask your tech person and I'm sure they'll be happy to help.